Welcome, everybody, to our weekly webinar. This week, I'm joined by CEO Devin Seacrest. So, he's showing off some of the cool things he built. What's
On
up,
my
man?
birthday,
On his birthday of all
my
days.
inaugural birthday,
Heck yeah.
yeah,
There we
webinar.
go. Happy birthday.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm actually giving the webinar because we're releasing a new version and we deleted all of Tanner's and JB's projects. So
Yeah, that's normal startup stuff. It's like you break everything, you fix everything. And
that's
I,
right.
I have the uncanny ability to break software as well. I'm the best QA tester
Yes.
in all humanity.
Yes. So we are very excited. Very, very shortly, we will have even a more exciting, more powerful new release of Ride, which is astonishing because what it can do right now is already super impressive. So
Yeah, I'm just in awe of the product team on how fast they are building. We had, what was it, last week where they released like three new versions in a day or something like that, just kicking off all sorts of stability stuff, new features. It's just crazy how fast they're building.
yep. Yep, absolutely. Well, sweet. I'll jump in. I'll go ahead and share my screen. We were actually gonna go and work on an app that I just built like 2 nights ago. It's a CRM. I was asked by this organization to build the CRM for like startups, and so we remember our day back in at Accelerator, time when we were working with Generator and Nmotion, and we'd be meeting all these people and having to take down all these contacts and then follow up with them. And so I was asked to present in front of that group, and so I was like, I'm going to build out a startup CRM for them here and there. So we've got part of it already built out, and then today we're just going to really quickly just maybe add a new feature to it to show you how new features can quickly get added into your existing app. So here is my CodeBuddy workspace. You can see I can have multiple workspaces for different teams that I'm working on and that have different connections to different cloud resources and permissions. And then I've got multiple projects within each workspace too as well. This is the startup CRM project that I was working on. To give you a little bit information about what it does, I'll go ahead and run it here. Actually, I had it already ran, but I'll go in and run it again. So this might push it back up. But this is something I built in about an hour and a half. Tanner's got the link for when we originally built it, and he can share it in the webinar here as well. And you can see kind of how it got built from scratch. But now that I've got it running, let me move this thing out of there. Okay. So lightweight CRM, I want to create a new contact and I want to record and say, I want to add Mike Johnson as a contact. And his email is mike@acmeincorporated.com. His phone number is 402-873-9764. I need to reach out to him because he knows an investor in my hometown. I also want to reach out to him to pick his brain on banking. And then I'm going to stop that there. And you can see there's typos. It's all kind of, jibbledy jabble in there. I can assign he's going to be an advisor. He's also going to be an investor. And then I want to take what I just spoke in there and I want to generate the information using AI. So I quickly shot it off to an AI service. It properly formatted it, gave me, the right name, gave me the right email, phone number, and then consolidated the notes to just what my notes should be, and then took the two tasks that I needed to uh, for him and separated them in tasks. I can revise it. I can, if I got something wrong here, maybe it's Johnson with an E or something, I can type that there and then I can save my contact. It gets added to all of the things up here as part of my new list as well. I can sort, filter, do all those fun things uh, here as well. Got all that built within an hour and a half, and now we want to take that and we want to add a new feature to it. Tanner, anything you want to inject there before
Nope.
I get started?
It's
Okay.
it's pretty amazing how quickly you were able to spin that up and get it
Yeah,
working with some really cool features like voice to text and AI and figuring out all the ways to put those and save those to a backend database. It's pretty wild.
correct. Literally did it after I put my kids down to bed one night and then had to give that presentation the next morning. So very, was very confident that Ride could get me what I needed. It was in front of maybe 30 or 40 people from all over the United States too, as well. So let's go ahead and let's add a new feature. So um, I've got a feature in mind. Are you okay if we do the task queuing one, Tanner?
Yeah, let's go
Is
ahead.
that cool?
Yes.
So there's this really cool feature in a CRM that I've used before that's what it does is it queues up all of your tasks. So if you've got a ton of contacts in your system and under each contact, you're like, hey, I need to reach out to this person. I need to send a third email to this person. I need to bug this person because I haven't heard from them. What it does is you can, on any given day, you can just queue up all of your contacts and then it will just one at a time be able to go through the tasks that you need to do for that contact. So again, we're going to plan it out and write and say, I want to create a new workflow to take I think we call them tasks. That's what we call them, right? Yeah, tasks. So I want to take all these tasks that I've got outstanding, and then I want to queue them up one at a time on a separate view that I have stored in my contacts records and queue them up one at a time in a new view. And in that view, I want to also show the information about the contact, um, and
You should be
say,
able to complete that action as well, right?
yeah, that's a good point about that contact. Uh, when uh, I either, so I think what I was able to do in the previous one is I either can skip that task or uh, click complete once I finish that task. And then we don't really have like a Boolean status on like a completed status on a specific task right now. Um, we could add that, or it could just like erase the task. What do you think? Should we go and try to add a status to the tasks? Maybe make task its own object.
Could be. Yeah, that's
We
probably smart.
can get a little aggressive here. Okay. Uh, this means I will need to make task its, oops,
Is that?
that's all right. It's smart enough.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for explaining your idea. New workflow, contacts, queue view, tasks alongside for each task. You could choose either skip it or complete it, mark it as finished. This means tasks, which are later become more of a to-do queue you work through in a sequence rather than just something you notice when browsing each individual contact. Can I ask you for a bit more about what task complete and skip should do? Should task complete disappear from queue? That's funny. That's literally just what we were saying. So, when you skip a task, should you move it to the back of the line, stay in place for the next time, or is there another behavior? Uh, yes. So task should have should be its own, property or object on a record, and within task there should be a, status property where I can click, where I can change it from active to complete. A skipped task should, um, yeah, you really don't need to do anything with skip tags. You just skip over it, right?
Yeah, he
You
just puts
don't,
it to the bottom of the
yeah,
queue or something.
yeah. Well, when I skip a task, it just goes to the next task, goes to the next task, and then the next time I want to queue, all my tasks, it's still there because it's active and not complete. On my, I don't remember what we called that view. It was like it was this task, store context in the table. I want to add a button on my contacts table view that allows me to go to this queue of tasks. I miss anything there? That looks
Sounds good.
solid.
It'll ask us if it thinks we're
Yeah.
missing. And that's one of the things I enjoy doing quite a bit is I'm just like, okay, you tell me what I need because I'm not sure all the time.
Yeah. It's cool. We were asking it earlier too, like what are some things we should build in a CRM? Like what are some possible cool features and
Yeah.
um okay, about tasks. Each task to be its own object, not just a string of text. Correct. For each task to have a status, such as active or complete. If you mark task as complete, it's removed from the active queue. If you skip a task, it remains active in the queue for next time. Perfect. May I define task status as task status, a property of task, including whether it's active? Yes. Does that definition work for you? Yes. Regarding the workflow, you can access your task queue ideally by clicking a button from the context table. Task queue shows you one active task at a time, plus info about the contact it belongs to. Yes. You can complete or skip a task. Completing removes it from the queue. Skipping moves you to the next task. The queue only includes tasks marked as active. Sounds pretty good, right?
Yep. Yeah, and
So,
what's great about it too, I love that it's going to be adding some additional definitions and stuff to your project as well. So again, if you went back, you were just like, okay, there was your task. So instead of having to go back to your app and be like, what is that? You can just go to definitions and it'd be like, oh yeah, here it is. So it's
correct.
all just kind of thought out in one central spot for you. I like to say it's your central source of truth when it comes to your software.
Yep. So it already had task as a definition because that was part of the contacts table, but it's adding a new one. So which is a property of task, talks about active. So we like that. We don't need to make any changes to that. We want to keep all these. So
Yeah.
now it's up here. Yeah, this is really nice. Having everyone speaking the same language in software is, I feel like 50% of software
It's where
sometimes.
most of the headaches come is when you're talking past each other. You're just like, of
Yes.
course I know what to do. You told me. And then you go and you get the deliverable and it's completely off base. It's
Yep.
happened to us so many times in projects where we're just like, well, good job, but that's not what I need at all.
Yep. So here's my task queue process. This is my new workflow. Workflow is like a use case in the software. It's kind of like a feature, but to us, features are like thought ahead, like defined what it should look like. A workflow is more like how should the user experience this? Because we try not to be prescriptive on what the software we should do. We try to be more like define what the user should experience and then let the AI come up with the best form of how that experience should go about. Because oftentimes it's better than what we think of ourselves. A workflow lets someone review and take action on their active tasks one at a time in a dedicated task queue. Each task queue is shown along information about the related contact. Pretty much what we saw. Perfect. So then we always go in user stories. Like I said, user stories describe actions that the user should do. It's not like, hey, I want to have this table here and this button there, because there might be a better way. So as a startup, I want to access the task queue from the contacts table. So they quickly, good. So that's my button on there. I want to view each active task one at a time with the associated contact. I want to mark a task as complete within the task queue. That removes it from that task queue. I want to skip a task and move to the next one without marking it as complete so that I can postpone a task. So those are my user stories. Those look correct. Obviously, if I was doing this for real, I'd take a few more seconds to review. Um, but it's pretty good right now. And then you can see it gets added to my workflows. I still have just one user in this software, which is a startup. I don't have like admins and customers and other people. It's not a multi-sided app right now. And then I've got my new task queue workflow. So I can go and keep working on this and modifying it and editing it if I wanted to, or adding new workflows. But I'm going to go ahead and move forward and implement this workflow right now. So this is going to take me to my code editing view here. I'm going to run it while it's working on this. And it's going to take all that information, not only from here, but it understands the entire system context of the software from the software planning. It understands the starter kit, which is the free template that we provide. It understands our coding languages that we use, the architecture that we use, and it's going to start working on this task. It's going to give me a plan. Oh, see, I opened it before. It's going to give me a plan of what I want for that actual task. Oh, it just zoomed in. Wait, let me zoom in again so you can see this a little better. Um, okay, so to back end, so context manager to fetch all active tasks across the contacts, mark a task as complete. So there's some actions that need to happen in the back end. In the front end, we need the task, queue button, and then we need a new task queue view, which will be a new page. It describes what that view should do. Routing is simply my page navigation. So when it manages what each different URL is, such as, my domain slash, contacts table or task queue. And then some more specifics for each layer. Uh, so we need a new task layer for, uh, the, I think, yeah, I don't remember how it stored a task in the database previously, but we need some more contracts, which is pretty much described like an object. So like a contact will have a name, an email, a phone number. A task will have the task assigned to it, plus whether it's active or completed. And then get active task view, mark as complete, API facade. Questions. Task entity. Is each contact task a separate object with a unique task ID or an index in array? We'll need a way to target one for completion. Ah, so I'm gonna say that each task is a separate object or instance of an object. Should the queue only show tasks for contacts related to the logged in startup user? Or right now we just show all the tasks for all the users. I haven't separated this per user. It's not multi-user friendly right now. Anyone that logs into it can add tasks to it. Uh, uh, it can show tasks for all users. Our task objects stored inline inside a context task array or elsewhere. Yes, I will. So this is gonna be a decent change because right now tasks are just listed as an array within the context table as a single item, and now we're gonna put them ideally into their own table. Um, into their own table and put the task ID inside of the contact. See if it gets that. Should the order be soonest to newest, oldest? Uh, yeah, the probably the
Really
um
oldest. Yeah.
probably oldest. Yeah,
Whatever you're procrastinating, it's gonna make you do it first.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so let me pull up that wall.
Yeah. So you can see here it's going through and it's actually reading all the files that are within it. And then bam, it's starting some suggested changes.
What did I call this? I called this startup CM. Yep. Okay, so yeah, and then what we were talking about that table is you can see right now. Um, Right now, the only thing that gets stored on my database is a single contact. And right now, within those are just tasks. So we probably need to move tasks out to their own table. And so that tasks can have multiple properties to it. It can have the name of the task, whether it's active, have an idea to that task. So here you can see it creates that new database entity to create that new database table for task. And it's going to have a contact ID, title, description, status, date created, due date. Wow, it gave it way more properties than I even specified, but these are all like really good properties that I needed in order to accomplish my mission, such as if I didn't have like a due date, a date created, it couldn't sort filter like status. Um, this gives it this gives it a okay, so this does it is doing it slightly different than I thought it would be, where there's on each task there's a contact ID associated with that task, which I think is good. Um, and then I'm wondering if it will also put the ID of this task, which the IDs are just stored in the base entity, onto the contact as well, so it knows it should because we have to list those in the table too as well. So
And one
you
thing I
can
really enjoy about Ride, as well as you saw it came up here, where you get to see all the code, like you would just be able to edit it. So if there was any tweaks, nothing happens without you actually committing it, which is a big thing compared to a lot of other platforms where they just kind of go off and do things for you. We
Yep.
are making sure that you are in control the entire time of what goes into your code base.
Yep. So here's that big change where we talked about the contact now having instead of it just had a string, a list of strings, which are describing the different tasks, but we're changing that to put tasks in their own database table. So now it's going to have a list of task IDs or GUIDs onto that contact so that it can manage all of the different tasks onto that side. You'll see there are errors. These errors are uh, some of these errors could be just because the AI hasn't finished building out the solution. It'll change one file that'll reference something else, but it hasn't created that second reference. Or there could be errors that we'll just have to fix. You know, in software, there are always errors that you have to fix along the way. Ride does a really good job of helping you with those. Okay, so now that's similar. So we did the database contract for task, which helps create the database table. This is the task DTO, which just helps is the communication layer between the front end and the back end. So the front end and the back end will have this same object for a task, and this will tell it how to communicate to each other. So this looks like the exact same thing as the database, which is what we want. Has that additional ID. Uh, that looks good. And then you can see my files getting created here. So you can see contact was updated, task was just added there as well. Task IDs, good. Same thing. It just updated the contact DTO, which previously had a list of strings. Now it has a list of strings, task IDs. You'll see in the other one it had GUIDs, but the front end doesn't accept GUIDs like that. So it was smart enough to know that this needs to be a string between the front end and the back end. Okay, and then there is a get active task queue request. We make every request contract. This is just when I send a request, we always make it in a contract just so if you need to add additional properties, it's really easy to just add those additional properties. Doesn't look like it needs any uh, active requests. Let's see, get active tasks queue request. I'll have to see what that does. I feel like that should have had some property into it, but oh, it's probably because we didn't do anything by user, so it's just grabbing all of them. I don't know, we'll have to see. Get an active response, which will be a list of active task queue items, which will have the task, and then it'll have the contact information. That looks correct. Mark task complete requested. So this just marks the task complete. We just pass in the task ID, and that's going to say, all right, that task is complete. And then the response for marking it complete, whether it successfully completed that and if there was an error. Gosh, did we start 25 minutes ago?
Yeah, it goes pretty fast, doesn't it?
This, yeah,
You get in that flow state.
yeah,
So it's fun to build. I mean, that's been the biggest thing that we've
yeah.
really experienced when we've been talking to users. It's like, you're able to kind of plan out whatever your idea is, and then you just start assembling it, and then you're just building with the power of the AI. So just, yeah, it's just really, really fun.
Yep. So it looks like we did all the back end. We did the tasky new, the DTO mapping. Yep. So it checks in with you every once in a while. Again, another thing we do to prevent just like complete vibe coding where it just does hundreds of files. It gives you those opportunities to review it, check in with the plan too as well, to give you the ability to provide feedback to it. If it's not doing what you intended it to do it or doing something that it shouldn't do, it you can really easily catch it. So now we're doing the context manager. So this is my backend API endpoint that accepts creating a contact. So now for each contact that it creates, it's going to pass in and create the task in the database too. And then there's get active tasks queue. This is going to get the queue of tasks. Mark task is complete. Okay, now ready for the front end. Finish the back end implementation. Yes. And then it also asks you like uh how you want to order the changes because some people like working from the back end to the front end, starting with the database to the all the way to the like front end code. Some people like going front end to back end. Even within the front end, some people go like going from doing the views first all the way to calling the APIs. Some people like going the opposite way. So usually uh, uh, gives you the ability to do that. So, okay, so I got my tasks DTO, I got the new tasks here, I got the mark task complete, mark task response. Okay, so this is not supposed to happen. And you can easily see that it's trying to delete the previous DTOs that are obviously in the system. And we have reported this to the product team. They've got a change in it for the new release, but for now, all you have to do is respond back to it and say, I don't want to delete the existing uh, DTOs in what is this called? App DTO. Yeah, this is the app DTO file. Got it. There we go. App DTOs. Add the new. So what the idea is sometimes it tries to take shortcuts and just say the rest of the DTOs, and so it tries to just stub out the rest of the stuff. But we basically want these ones and here in the modifications and the new. So we want the new task DTO. I'm just going to specify it just to be clear. So we want the task DTO, these, the active queue get items, and the mark task is complete. I'm just gonna be extra explicit so I don't have to come around and fix it. And then it should, um, let's see if it, I feel like it should make a change to context, but maybe not in the way that it's doing it. Oh, yeah. So it does have, it changed context. Yeah. Change context. It's going to take that feedback and you can see now it redid that whole thing And without being a stinker and trying to delete everything, it just provided me the changes that I needed here. Test ETO, active task queue, does the task queue, and then the modification to uh, that. It has a comment in there, but I don't really care about that. That's not going to actually do anything. And then it kept all my existing code there too as well. So I want to accept this one.
And this is where it's important too to like again show that you're in control because AI is very good at some stuff, but it can make mistakes just like people can. So you are in control every step of the way. So it might seem ridiculous at first where you're just like, why you keep showing me this stuff I don't want to do? But again, if you're wanting to build software for your business, for example, you want to make sure you're actually putting in stuff, understanding what's happening, and maintaining that high quality.
Yep. If something looks weird, you just always mention it back to the AI. And you can ask it questions too. It's not like you have to give it direct commands. It's always like, hey, should it be deleting this? And then usually it knows the answer and it will respond back and say, hey, no, I shouldn't have deleted all that. I was trying to take a shortcut there. Or it's like, yes, you want to delete these because we already, we moved them to a different file or so and so happened. So here's my task queue view. So this will be the front end code that will hopefully uh, take me through all those different tasks. I am not going to take time to really look at all this language. I'd rather, it looks like it's got all the things in there. It doesn't look like it's doing anything that it shouldn't do. I'm going to probably want to massage what the look of it is, but I'm going to do that after I first see what the look of it is instead of going through every single like padding and margin and trying to figure that out in just the code right now. We should be close to finish too. So we got our views, we've got our updated managers. We didn't have to do anything with our accessors or engines. Um, let's see what we got here. The contacts table view, that's the one I wanted to add that button. So it looks like it's handling that button. It's going to go to tasks.queue and then it looks like it adds another button in there. And then oh yeah, it's going to redo the code for the tasks because we did change the code for the task from being just an array of strings to now it's its own property too as well. So we're doing not only a new feature, but we're doing a little bit of a refactor too, uh, which it's really helpful when you do refactoring through this kind of what we call spec-driven development, where you're really clearly assigning what it should do. When you try to do refactors without a lot of information, the AI can really struggle. And then here's my new routing where you can see that it puts in all of the URL paths and assigns them to the different views within my code. All right. It looks like I am done there. So I'm going to run it again. I'm guessing I've got an error or two. We'll see. Okay. So I've got a two error, or it's the same error, so it's over twice. It's just repeated twice because it's probably referenced twice in the code. But it looks like there's just an ambiguous reference between test status. This is why I hate using the word task in code is because there are reserved keywords in certain languages that use the word task. So anytime you use the word task, it always like pulls up these ambiguous references, which is, are you using the like Microsoft system task reference or the your own task reference too? I should have known this. I've done so many. Task is such a nice word to use, but what I can do to fix it though is I can just click here and resolve with ride. This should be an easy ride where it's just going to specify which one it's trying to use. Um, I'm almost like tempted to go and change the word task though, because it just always throws these issues. So you see, instead of just it calling it task status, it's being very specific in that it's the task status coming from my contracts and not coming from the system, which the system has its own task status. Um, yeah, we do hot reload on stuff. So both the front end and the back end, which not most IDEs do back end hot reloading, but when we do make a change to the back end, it does trigger a hot reload too. Sometimes it takes a second too. So if you're ready to go and you remember, you can always just hot reload it to itself. Okay, see now I'm running in that same thing where we used both task as an ambiguous name here. These are annoying. I'm just gonna resolve them real quick. Again, it's confused whether it's using the system task status, it's a reserved keyword, or it's using the one that I created. So I'm gonna specify it. It looks like it's gonna make me do it again in the database. So I can plug this in here too as well. Same thing, task. Let's see, I'm guessing it's somewhere else, but we will see. Let's run it again and see if it. Ah, oh my gosh,
Just compounding.
see how it's everywhere? It just kind of compounds the errors. We'll go fix them real quick. Show you how fast it is to fix stuff. Luckily, these are all the same thing, so we're not gonna have to fix 28 of them. Yeah, they just compound though, because once you say one, then it's gonna ask for the ones, yes, because now we use task in so many other places. Yeah, actually, I think that it's probably just better to fix it. Yes. Instead of changing task everywhere, I want to change the task object to be called to do.
Activity.
Yeah, we could use activity. You like activity?
I don't know. To do is good too.
Let's go to do. To do. That is in, what do we use it in? Contacts. Here, what we call that, the new record contact view. Okay, our new major refactor. So this actually, I'm glad we did this because this shows a feature that just got released to several a little bit ago, which I've actually never seen in live. But we have the ability to not only change code files, but it can rename change code files. It can move code files. This is really cool. So I'm going to change it from contracts domain database tasks CS to contracts database domains to do.cs. Yes, rename. Nice job, product team. That's like very cool. Uh, Sweet. So it confirmed to me that it's changed that. Now it's going to go in and it's going to change the actual code in there to be called a to-do instead of a task. These are problems to just kill developers' times. Like this probably I would probably ended my day and just gone home as a regular developer at this point. Like changing the contracts DTO for task DTO. I should probably rename this. So if it doesn't automatically name it, I might tell the AI to do that because I probably want that to be called to do. Looks like it changes it everywhere else though. This extra string will no longer be necessary because it's not going to confuse it with the system one, but it doesn't hurt to have it there. So So yeah, this is the one that's getting confused with system threading's task which is an async operation. Okay, now it's gonna modify the get active tasks queue. I wonder if we should change that to get active. Let's just keep it. We're going to keep the code clean because we're creating clean enterprise code and not just garbage code. So change get active tasks queue to, we'll just call everything get active to do. So another thing how I was able to see that because I'm supervising all my code and I'm not just pressing the to do, the accept button on everything. It was very easy to see too because it in green line it changed the file signature of one, but I saw that the file signature of the other didn't get changed, which had the old word tasks. Okay, contact managers. It's refactoring everything to say to do. And again, I want to change this. We're just gonna have to rename this webinar, Tanner, to refactoring in CodeBuddy.
Hey, good title. Hopefully people will get it.
Yeah, okay, so here it's gonna do a new rename. Let's see, it's already renamed it up here, so you can see now I'm saying to do, uh, get active to do queue. Perfect, that looks
On the
good.
left-hand side, it still says task though.
So this is the reserved keyword that C# uses for task, which
Mm,
is everywhere. Like you can
yeah.
see it's in literally in everything, things that don't even have to do with like a task, like create contacts. Task literally just means it's an asynchronous operation. Um, so
And that's such an easy thing. Again, if you're not building software, you're like, oh yeah, and I have my tasks and I do this, and then without
yes,
recognizing it, yeah, you just opened up a hornet's nest.
yes. And then I want to, it might pick up on these, but I want to make sure that it gets rid of all the to-dos or gets rid of all the tasks in here. Or the title can be why not to use the word task in any of your code. Let's see, get active task, get active to-dos. That thing is just cool. I like that. So, okay, contact manager, get active to-dos, yada yada. She modified that. Excellent. Which to do. Excellent. Actually, I'm wondering the contact contact details says task IDs. And this says task IDs. Wonder if it's going to come back and do that though. Let's change it now. I'm just gonna, I want to refactor this whole thing.
And I like too that you can just kind of describe it. You don't have to be super, super prescriptive, like you said, and we'll just kind of
Yep.
figure it out.
Yeah, see, it's pretty smart to go in and I didn't tell it
Yep.
in
But
everything
there
of
it's
those
trying to do
too.
that thing again where it's wanting to delete
Oh
everything.
yeah. See, it's trying to don't insist.
I'm sure one of the team has been battling this to fix
Yes.
it.
Make changes to I'm just gonna list them again. Give it a little help. It's always nice to give the AI a little help, you know, be a good guy. Gotta move my team messages to somewhere else that pops up.
I know I usually close it just during
Yeah,
these things.
that's a good idea. Let's just go.
Someone's going to be saying some great things on live stream.
Okay. I still deleted them all. Let's try.
You say you're deleting, yeah.
Yeah, I just let's
No
fix it now.
shortcuts, AI.
Yeah, no shortcuts. Yeah, it's actually how that's how some of the other IDEs do it too. Ah, it's doing it. Okay. So this is a good like learning example. Worst case it comes to it, what you do is you can just copy the code that you actually need, uh, and then just click cancel request, and then go in to the app DTOs and just make that change right there. Well, let's see if it'll do it this time.
There we
There
go.
we go. Just needed a little bit of generate contact, draft response. Yes. Although we will eventually want to make those uh to that we'll want to make this a to-do too. Generate contact. Looks up to now. You can always go back. Okay, new DTOs, contract, update usages and API layer. Yes. Yeah, we're like going above and beyond because we're refactoring stuff that we had already previously built calling task, and now it's going in and for refactoring it as to do, which is a pretty significant change to the code. And honestly, like I said, if this had happened to me at like my old job, I would have just gotten home for the day. Um,
Get a
because
big
this
cup of coffee for the
this
next morning.
probably would have been a like full day like refactor, yes.
I wonder if we can plug into the planning AI like certain terms that should be like, how let's not use this.
We should tell it, like,
Yeah.
please don't use these reserved keywords
Hmm.
because you're gonna have these like I probably should have just gone with task, but whatever.
I think it's fine. It's fun. It's
we
neat
get
to
to
see the difference.
see. Yeah, I would have not seen that renaming thing too, which is very cool. So yeah, I mean, this goes to show though, like, a correct engineer would have taken the time to refactor all of this. A shortcut engineer would have just gone in and said, keep doing that the old way. Uh, and it would have just bloated the code. You would have had to put all of this, like all of these, specifying, uh, code to determine which contracts were which contracts. This just makes it a lot more simpler. It keeps the code a lot cleaner to do da 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 task view. Yes. So again, this is previous changes that had already been made. Contact. Like we also want to change task queue view to rename to we're just throwing off the whole AI because we literally told it in a million different places in the software plan to use the word task.
Well, we'll need to go back in planning and be like, okay, wherever you've said task, we're going to
That's a
change
good
that too.
idea. Like, let's keep it all clean. Like, that's quality software,
And
quality
it's
engineering.
and it's what's nice too if you're on a good project where like you have, let's say you have someone building this for you, well, they're going to come back and be like, okay, we had to change this for this reason. Let's change the definitions. Let's go through here.
Exactly. So here's this this we didn't even do today. This I did 2 days ago. This is my record contact where I use the word task all the time. And like we just want to go through and clean it up to put to-dos so that everything just matches and is consistent. So you don't have task in one area and then to-dos. Here's it's gonna do my renaming to to-do queue view. See what else do we have to do. It's gonna change the routes probably. Because I think we called it / task queue. Yes, task queue. All right, accept that change. Let's see, is there anywhere else that we use the word task? Oh, task status enum. Change task status enum to do status enum. I'm just gonna start there. I'm not gonna ask it to see if we use task anywhere else in the code because task is used for many other reasons in the code. Status enum. Nice. Yes. That's refactoring. See, we got everything else. Looks good. To-dos, everything's saying to-dos. So it's going to use the to-do status enum instead of task status enum. Okay, I think we should be able to run it here soon. I'm guessing there's going to be different errors just because how much code we changed. You can see all the different code we changed here. Hopefully there's not ambiguous references though. Let's see, we still got some to-do stuff. Yeah, it used to have the to-do status. Now it's their task status. Now it's to-do status. Changes. I do wonder, it's probably gonna, we are making, since we are refactored tasks in, uh, I believe my previous records probably aren't gonna work. I'd have to write some sort of database script, so I'm just gonna clear those out, and delete them. They were all just test records anyways. Okay. Uh, yes. Gosh, you can see on one small change affects so
Mhm.
much code.
One misstep where you just rename or
Yeah,
name the something the wrong thing and then it completely just bites you.
I do like your idea, Tanner, though, of like training the AI not to use reserved keywords. I think that's a really good idea.
Well, it's something that, a senior developer who's, had to pay the price already would have
Oh
ingrained
yeah.
in their head, but someone just starting out would never know.
Yeah.
Or you just, again, a moment where you're thinking about the business side, not necessarily the code side, and then you make that misstep.
Yeah. Or an idiot like me that's already learned this lesson and still forgot it.
Well, remember you did build it late at night.
That's true. Task is just a good word to use. It's just
It
like,
is. It's probably, and Microsoft likes to steal all the good things.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, I think this is just doing that front end enum, and then I think we should be good to go. It's probably exhausted from us by now. Let me go check that. I'll do that. Let's see if I can. I'm digging into all of the code files here. Here's the app DTOs. Let's see if we did do that task status. And also just search task. Task. Let's see. App DTOs. So this was the old tasks. That's correct. Let's see where else it is. Tasks queue, we could change it there. So yeah, another thing is, I mean, if you really do want to go in and refactor, we could, or I can just tell it here. Oh, we're running out of time. I never like to go over an hour.
It's all right.
So I just deleted it up here and moved it up closer to the thing. It looks like it's correct there though. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? Anything I can just tasks? So it does do task queue, but it does. So let's just change this to do's. What was it? Was it task? Yeah. To do's. You can just manually save it too as well. See if there's anything else. So these are all system threading tasks. Here's where we change that contact. Yeah. Change anywhere. Let's see if it's anything else. We want to change that because we just manually changed that to to-dos. See if it's system threading task. That's the other thing. Change that. Gotta change this. So this thing, well, I just want to change. You can just chop this whole part out, Tanner, and have this be a separate video on refactoring. People that
I think
actually
the
want to see a feature being built
yeah, I
don't
mean,
have to do the,
I think most of this video is just refactoring, which is
yeah,
not a bad thing. Again, like
yeah,
how much time would have you taken without the tool?
correct. I'm just gonna
You never
change
know with
the,
these live streams how what you're gonna end up story you're gonna tell.
correct. It's just trying to refactor. I'm gonna cancel that. Okay. See if it's anywhere else. Uh, do I don't want to do that. Set to dos, drafts. Just save those. You're literally refactoring this whole thing. This is crazy. To dos instead of there already is to dos. Cancel that. Um, that's it's literally okay. It's in the system prompt, but that's okay. Just saying the tasks. Those are comments. So it's in the email engine editor, but I don't think that matters because it's going to do that. Hopefully this is the last one. I could also run the application in anything that is using tasks. Whoops.
It should throw
It's
an error.
it'll throw an error too. Just don't like errors. So that's the context manager. We already did that one. Here's the create context request. Oh, so this is the back end. To-dos, tasks.
I do like how you can go hunting yourself while the AI is hunting.
Yeah. Sounds like two people are working on it at the same time.
Hmm. And I hadn't seen that dynamic before. Probably because I don't, I just have the AI do everything for me.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Let's just run this.
Yeah, only four.
These are the same, right? To do.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Changing it from tasks to do. So again, the nice thing about the language that we use is that both C# and TypeScript, they do type checking so that in these refactors, if the AI doesn't catch it and you don't catch it, the type checking will catch it. So there's multiple layers of like code safety uh, within the application here. Let's see. Okay. Is that done?
Still says thinking.
Might be trying to connect and
There it goes.
see. We run into another. Must be where it's referencing. It's probably trying to call the old get active tasks one still.
I mean, just going to the dynamic of what you're building, checking off things, getting them complete is pretty satisfying. It's fun to kind of go through and resolve
Yeah,
these issues over and over.
there's a
As
new one.
long as we don't just start spawning again. It's just like 2,
Yeah,
8, 64. There's a reason they call them bugs, right?
yeah,
They keep multiplying.
yeah. Once you start naming stuff, this is just a runtime. Let me just restart that. Hopefully that means it's.
There
There
we
we
go.
go. We got at least the back end. Probably see if there's something in the front end. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Can I copy multiple of these? Oh, it just says one at a time. Or you can do them all. How much are there? There's 14. Let's hold off. Let's do one of these at a time real quick. Are these the same? Yeah, there's just some cleanup on the tasks. Screw it, we'll do them all next time. Let's fix this. So, well, hold off. Let's see.
Hmm.
Or let's just do them all. Cannot find namespace contracts. These are all app GTO ones. Just do them all. We're gonna go bold. Mhm. That loads, I can just go fix them too. No exporting status. Yeah, there is no to do status on enums. Okay, I'm gonna tell it to do that. To do status to the enums. That to do DTO status. Yeah, this is wrong. It should be to do status.
Is that because you did before you did the refactor, you had to start giving it extra names?
Yeah, but it shouldn't do that to the front end. I think I'd actually just copied it there.
Hmm.
It doesn't even look like it doesn't look like it put it there, but it's on here. Give it a give it a second to do. If not, I'll just go in and add it. Let's see what the enum even was. Do do do. Oh, we have an enum folder. Okay. There it is. Let's just throw it in there. See if that'll. Let's run that. Let's run the front end. See, it'll resolve all these. Didn't like reading that blank enum file. It's trying to read it again.
There it goes.
Oh, there it is. Oh, thanks. Great. Wait, I didn't want to do that one. Does it still have that enum in there? Looks like they're just mislabeled there. Create contact. Generate contact. Get acid. Yeah. To do. To do. Guess it was everywhere. Tanner, don't hate me. And then we need this one too as well. It's all that.
Why does it set it
Hmm.
to two tasks?
Yeah, do we know on tasks? We still want it to do. Email, no. Okay. To do's, right? I think it's plural.
We need to add some text to speech for the ride.
I
What
know,
was
we
I telling
literally
you?
built that feature out.
Yeah, start using that.
To do IDs. Can I change those? I would change those already.
That looks right.
Yeah, don't need that. Stupid. Record contacts. Define null. That's what we want. So see how it makes changes, but then it resuggests it
Mm-hmm.
with the correct one that we made. Let's try to run it now to see if
Probably because it should be to-do's ID, not
yeah,
to do.
record mark to do.
Now it's wanting to make a task ID.
Mark to do complete. That must be just, we want to do ID.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if mark to do complete is just on the API. What are we doing? Contact mark to do complete. The mark to do complete request DTO. Mark. Oh yeah, here it is.
Bam.
There we go. Whoop. Perseverance. Let's see if, okay, so we've got, okay, cleaned out all the contacts, didn't I? Startup CRM develop. Maybe not. Um, okay. So let's create an I want to create a new contact for Bob Smith. His email is bob@acme.com. His phone number is 402-730-5631. I need to reach out to him about meeting with Tanner. I also need to get an investor list from him.
Sweet. Did not do that to
It didn't
do.
do the to-dos. Wonder, see if it'll manually add a to-do. I wonder, because we didn't change tasked to do on the OpenAI calls.
Mm.
I wonder if that's our our big issue. And then yeah, it's
Yeah,
oh,
that
there we
all looks
go.
good.
Sweet. Let's see.
Yeah, and that was your
Okay,
one
so
on
it did.
one.
And I can come click complete on someone. Sweet. All right. We'll call it good there.
Yeah.
That's a win for today. Our new max cap for webinars is 90 minutes instead of 60 minutes. Refactoring done.
All right.
So other than the OpenAI call.
No, I mean, this
So
is a great behind the curtain to understand like what can happen, especially if you're not a developer, and then something simple of like, oh, I just want to rename this. How, much work that can turn into. But
yep.
again, it's something where you're using this tool, we're able to do it in relatively in an hour or so of your time here, 30 minutes of planning and initial building and an hour of refactoring, compared to an entire day or two of your entire existence just dedicated to renaming files and finding what's broken. So it
Pretty
makes
much
it a lot more
renaming the
efficient.
entire project.
Yeah, so works
So
cool. But yeah, thanks to everyone who joined us and everyone who watched to the end. If you are interested in trying out Ride for yourself, just go to codebuddy.com. We are making it as well where you'll be able to download Ride directly here in the near future with those new updates. So make sure to stop by next week. We may have some cool new stuff to show you. And with that, we will see everybody next time. Bye bye.